Okay, I'm probably going to drop more F-bombs in this video than any video maybe I've ever made. I received a message from a gentleman asking me what to do. How can he be someone who's committed? He's acknowledging that he hasn't been committed, and that's why he hasn't created the results that he wants to create. And he knows that, but I'm just afraid. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of failing myself, my wife, my 4 kids. And it's like, how do I be committed when I'm afraid to fail? I mean, the answer that I have is not one that I think anybody wants to hear, but it's the truth, and it's the thing that I have to remind myself of every time that I find that I'm hesitating out of a fear of failure. And that might be hesitating in action, or it might be hesitating to commit. Those are kind of the same thing, but you can come at it with different words. But hesitation, my self-defense instructor used to scream during this knife defense training, knife self-defense, hesitation will get you killed, right? Like if somebody's come at you with a knife and you hesitate, it's over. It's over. So hesitation will get you killed in life. Slowly, it's a slow death, but your hesitancy just suffocates you. It makes people not trust you. It makes you not trust yourself, and everything that you want, all your dreams, they get further and further from your hands. So what do you do? How do you be committed when you're afraid to fail? Again, the answer is not what you want to hear probably, but it's the one that works. And that is, you have to say, fuck it. I don't fucking care if I fail. I am willing to fail. And that's like, well, that's not the right advice, right? You're supposed to be like, I'm not willing to fail. It's like, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of energy in that. But I can guarantee you that the person who moves forward with, I'm not willing to fail, deeper down, they're fucking okay with failing. Because they know that if they do, they'll get back up and keep going. And what does that look like? That looks like unwillingness to fail. In the sense that I will get to that place way out the edge of the horizon because I'm okay with failing because I know I'm going to get back up and keep going. So the paradox is being unwilling to fail is actually an expression of a willingness to fail. So I'm not, so being scared fucking shitless of failing, the liberation from that is to not give a fuck whether or not you fail. And it's like, okay, that sounds good as a concept, but like, I can't really fail my wife and kids. I can't fail my family. Why not? Because if I fail in this business, that means I'm failing as a husband and father. Well, what do you mean by that? That means I can't afford to pay the rent. And then what? And then we have to move out. And we don't have a place to live. We're going to be on the streets? No, we'll rent somewhere cheaper or maybe to stay at my mom and dad's. It's like, well, then, are you willing to do that? No, I'm not willing to do that. Well, then you're not fucking willing to fail. Which means that you're not willing to take a step. Because if you fall down, you're going to be like, I can't get back up. But the fucking reality is, life is a fucking stumble and a fucking fall down, a smash your face and there's blood coming out and everybody's fucking laughing at you and you get up and keep going and that's how you fucking get there. Nobody's like, doop de doop de doo, here I go on my fucking journey towards success, never failing, never falling down. And it's like, oh, it's okay to fall down as long as I just skin my knee, but I don't want to smash my fucking face and have blood just hemorrhaging out of my face, aka have to move out of my house because I can't pay the rent. I couldn't stomach that. My ego couldn't take that. That's too existentially threatening to who I think I am. I know that my wife knows and my kids are beginning to know that I'm happy to lose fucking everything for me and for them in service of creating everything for me and for them. So it's my willingness to fail them completely that's at the bottom of my capacity to be committed to not failing. Can you feel that? Can you see that? So most people, maybe all people who are unwilling to commit to something because they're afraid of failing in it, need to look at what are they actually afraid of. I say follow the rabbit, right? Like in Alice in Wonderland or something, or like in that idea, the cave that you fear to enter. Like what's in there? What are you actually afraid of? Like follow that. Well, I'm afraid this would happen. And then what's scary about that? Well, I'm afraid that I would lose my house or people would think this about me. Well, who specifically when you say people? Well, my parents or my friends or They'd worry about me. Well, why are you worried about them worrying about you? What's scary about that? What would they think about you? What are you really afraid of? You know, right now, I'm leaning into one of my discomforts with eating meat, and I know that I either am going to stop eating meat or I'm going to learn to kill and gut an animal. There's probably people watching this that would never even conceive of ever going down that path. There's people that watching this that's just a fact of life. That's like they kill the animals, they gut them, and then they eat them. But if I can't fucking face that, if I can't put a knife into an animal, take its life, cut it open, pull its organs out, have myself covered in blood, then I'm not complete and coherent in my relationship to that whole context. And that means that some of my power is left out. So if I can't be with something, guess what? It won't let me be. And it's not leaving me alone. So I'm either going to move away from eating meat or move through it. And I'm not like one is more right than the other. I don't want to get into some ethical conversation. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, pick somebody else's thread to talk about that. It's not what this is about. This is about with coming to terms with something that you can't be with and how it won't let you be. If you can't be with that which you are afraid of, then it won't let you be. It won't let you be committed. It won't let you take a chance at failing until you can be with it. You can't be with your death, it won't let you be. You can't be with ego death, it won't let you be. You can't be with that which you're afraid of failing. You can't, if you don't even know what you're afraid of, then there's a good chance that there's, like really deep down, you haven't looked at it yet, you can't be with it. So I love being in conversation with people about this. What are you afraid of failing for? Why? Well, isn't that just socially acceptably a bad thing? And can't we just leave it at that? We could, and you're going to get more of that I'm not committed thing because I'm afraid of failing. How do I be committed whilst afraid of failing? You got to get rid of that fear. Otherwise, you buy into some like story where it's like, if I were just strong enough to overpower the fear and to just muscle through it, then I could succeed. It's like, dude, I'm sure there are people with a will strong enough where they just muscle through it. But most of the time, it's because people aren't as fucking scared as you are of that outcome. They've looked at it and they've been like, okay, fine. If I smash my face and there's blood hemorrhaging out of it, I'll go to the doctor. I'll get fucking one of those nose splints, put some tissues in there, jam it up, and I'll fucking look stupid for a month with black eyes, and I'll fucking get back up and fucking keep walking. So if you're afraid of failing, look at it. Make a list. I'm afraid of failing specifically with this because if that happens, I'd be afraid that this, and I'm afraid of that because this, and it's like fucking make it vibrant. HD, 4K. Look at it. Feel it. Feel like fucking barf it all out. And then be like, and then what? And then what? Now I've got no house. My wife's left me. My kids hate me because I was so committed to an outcome and I failed at it. I mean, shit. That's number one, that's fucking unlikely because somebody who's committed and willing to get back up and keep going is fucking powerful. And most people are more inspired by that than they are put down by circumstances changing and being unsettling. I know, I've been through it. I've taken my wife through a fucking turmoil of circumstances, ups and downs. And why has she stayed? Because she's more turned on by my commitment to going there than she is concerned about the ups and downs. And now we have this life, and I'm still throwing it in fucking turmoil. I'll be straight with you. Like, we're here, and it's like, let's create new goals and invest all this money into the business and different things, and it's like, shit, okay, well, fucking hold on again, here we go. You gave me 5 minutes of relaxedness, and now we're on the cycle. Yeah, that's life. That's who I am. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating constantly. Not because I need it, but because that's what makes me feel alive. I love growth and creation. And if you're watching this long in, I don't know, 9 minutes and 10 seconds, you too, or you wouldn't be here. And so, what are you actually afraid of? Look at it. If you're not sick to your stomach looking at it, and don't look away, just keep looking at it. And then what? If that did happen, worst case scenario, and then what? On the other side of you looking at this without looking away, if you stay with it, and then what, and then what, and then what? There's a light. And it's your resourcefulness will just go boom. Well, and then I'd get back up. And I'd keep going. And I'd figure it out. Your resourcefulness is waiting for you on the other side of your willingness to look your death and all of these little mini deaths, these little things that you're afraid of, straight in the eyes. You stay with it and you say, cool, okay, that happens. That thing that makes me want to fucking puke right now, that happens. And then what? And then what do I do? You will find your resourcefulness. And there, that light at the end of that tunnel, that's where you source from. And you don't do it once, you do it every single time you feel yourself too afraid to commit or too afraid to be in action inside the context of the commitment that you've made. And you do that, that's called getting back up and keep moving. Getting back up and keep moving. How do you get back up? You go all the way through the thing that you're afraid of, you look at the worst case scenario, you say, and then what? And then you find what you would be doing if you got there, and then you get there now, and you're resourced now, and you're in action now, and you create, and you keep moving forward. That's how you be committed when you're afraid of failure. You obliterate the failure as a practice over and over and over again. Sorry, you obliterate the fear of failure as a practice over and over and over again by looking at what you're actually doing with your mind, facing it, finding your resourcefulness on the other side, feeling it now, boom, using it, being in action, and keep creating. I love you. Thank you for your question. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.